Good morning, everyone. Day 9 of the calendar. So let's discover the coffee that we're going to brew today. All right, number 9. Okay, that's the coffee of today. Today we have a washed cut white from Costa Rica, roasted by Prolog from Copenhagen in Denmark. Fun fact of the temperature suggested for the coffee of today, 100 degrees Celsius. Should I use 100 degrees for the method of today or not? That can be fun. Okay, let's see the coffee 1 second. And then we decide if we should put the 100 degrees Celsius. All right. Because I wasn't calculating the 100 degrees Celsius. I don't think I'm gonna put 100. No. I wanna keep like our plan to keep the temperature today, which is, oh, what happened here? The coffee multiplied. All right. So the temperature of the water today, I was planning to keep it at 92. I don't need much energy because when I will show you the method of today, you will understand. Now, let's weigh the coffee. Okay. We are going to dose 15 grams. Okay. Coffee is alive. All right. 15 grams. All right. And the method of today, AeroPress. All right. Today we squeeze a bit of AeroPress in this calendar. I said I was going to use it if someone wanted me to use it, and so we are going to use it. So I'm going to use the AeroPress with the Fellow Prismo. All right. AeroPress made their own kind of like single valve thingy to apply here on the AeroPress instead of like the classic filter. Why I love this accessory? Very quickly, the fact that first of all, give me the possibility to use the AeroPress in the classic method, in a traditional way. So I don't need to use the inverted method where basically you keep the AeroPress like this, so inverted, do all the thingy here with the coffee and water to have a proper immersion, and then you place the cup, turn, press. In this way, with the help of, in this case, Fellow Prismo, I'm able to place the AeroPress in a traditional way, and when I put coffee and water, because here there is a valve, nothing is going to escape. Everything is going to remain inside until I don't put the plunger and press down the coffee, basically. So it's easier workflow. I don't need to tilt and I don't need to rotate anything when there is coffee and water inside. Also because give me the possibility to have a higher depth in the AeroPress so I can fit more water to make longer recipes, okay? When you have it inverted, you basically kind of like take a bit of the space here and you're not able to put a lot of quantity of water. Here you have the extra depth, so that's another reason why. And the other reason why, that for me probably is the most important, is the fact that it doesn't have the holes around here the edges. Let me see if I have the AeroPress, because I never use it, so I don't even know if I have it. No, I don't have the traditional AeroPress filter. I have 5 more Prismo, but I don't have the classic AeroPress filter, the one, yeah, don't have it. But anyway, like, you know what I mean. So when you put the filter here, the filter has the holes on the bottom, all right, but plus there's some holes here, gaps, that is very visible when you put the paper. You can see the paper and also this part, the very edge of the AeroPress. What happened there? It happened that sometimes if you are pressing too much, water will spit out these holes on the side. And when the water spits from the hole on the side, it means that it bypass around the paper filter disc of the AeroPress. Okay? Giving you bypass first of all, but the important thing is not the bypass, but it's the fact that fine particles, so when the coffee particles can basically bypass through these holes, tainting the coffee that you are going to brew. So doesn't just have the paper filtration, but if some fine particles end up in the server or the mug, wherever you're going to press the AeroPress, you're going to, let's say, ruin the coffee. Close parenthesis, why I like Prismo. Anyway, so we have 15 grams of coffee, and for this recipe, I am going to grind it at 20 clicks. So 1, 20. All right, so it's very fine. Okay, but we can do this. We can grind fine when we are in a kind of like immersion mode. It doesn't matter. So yeah, it's pretty fine for pour over, but as I said, for AeroPress, for immersion method, it's fine, it's okay. What we have here, we have 20 clicks, so we're going to have higher contact surface. I wouldn't say time, because time depends on when we press, because it's an immersion, we give the time. It's not pour over. So we're gonna have higher contact surface. That's why I keep the water at 92. I don't need a lot of energy to extract, because I give easy way to the water to enter, to extract, to enter inside the coffee cells, because I grind finer. So I said, like, there you go, please enter inside the coffee particle. And so I don't need a lot of energy, all right? Let's put the filter. Okay. Okay. Now, the beautiful thing of this method, I don't need to put the AeroPress on top of the server, because nothing is going to escape. If the valve is damaged, yes, it will leak. But hopefully my valve is not leaking. All right, we will see. Now, let's place the coffee. So you don't need to pre-wet the paper, it's fine. And then we are going to do this method, okay? Another accessory you need that I didn't mention is basically a chopstick, okay? This is a metal chopstick. You can use also the spoon, actually. The AeroPress, I never use it. I have it, but I never use it. So this thingy, you can use it. Maybe I should use it. I don't know. I'm used to the chopstick. I think it's fine. Maybe that's going to create more agitation. I don't know. I need to double check this. But you can try with this, with the if you have a chopstick, okay? So chopstick, this one is helpful to stir, to create the agitation. All right? So the step are this. We're going to, the coffee is inside, I'm going to apply 50 grams of pour. So I'm going to put 50 grams of water inside. Then I'll let it sit for 30 seconds. Okay, here also the blooming, you can decide, you can do 30, you can stretch to 40, to 50, to 1 minute. In this case, I have always coffee and water in contact all the time, so I don't need a lot of seconds. Also, finer particles, so it means that saturate faster, so I don't need to go 1 minute. But if you have a fresh coffee, very fresh coffee, maybe you can stretch to 1 minute to let the gas escape. After 50 grams, I'm going to fill it up until 250, so I will add 200 grams. After 200 grams, I'm going to take the chopstick and I'm going to stir for 30 seconds, okay? After these 30 seconds, I'm going to plunge the AeroPress, the coffee, into the server, all right? Now, that's what I'm gonna do. Now you're gonna see it. Temperature 92, I said, so we are going to go. Now here, I said you're going to go 50. The beautiful thing of the AeroPress is that now I'm going to give a nice swirl to mix, to saturate the coffee. The water is not going anywhere. And that's it. Now, in 10 seconds, we are going to apply 200 grams. All right. Here you don't need to go aggressive. Usually I give like a, pour these 200 grams within, 30 seconds, just to give a time to pour the water until you arrive at 250, and then it's important you are going to 1 minute mark, because then we're going to start to stir. Okay, perfect. 1 minute and we stir for 30 seconds. What creates this? This creates agitation. So basically, we're going to keep the particle moving so that extract very fast. So that's a fast method with AeroPress. Okay, just be careful, don't go very low, otherwise you can scratch the vapor filter and damage everything. Now, 130, put this here. And you plunge. So it's kind of like you plunge at 140. Just take your time, you don't need to rush. Here, the plunging is very easy to make because the particles still floating inside, rotating, so they don't create the pack on the bottom. So when you press, it's very easy. And that's what we want, okay? We don't need the pack to press the water through the pack. We don't need it, okay? Then I'm going to tell you other tricks to how to manage variables, okay? Once everything's done, all right. You see, 2 minutes 20, you have your coffee. Nice, sweet aroma. All right, now let's see. Let's check the yield first. Okay, I will say 229. That's good. All right, okay, perfect. I can describe. Okay, in this way, what do we have? We have very fast extraction, okay, given by the fine particles and the agitation, okay? So it's very fast to extract. The thing that is missing, this is a method, okay? The thing is missing is what? The mouthfeel, okay? It's just because this is a method to get something like doing this. It's a method to get a very bright coffee with not so much mouthfeel, kind of like, I wouldn't say tea-like. It's not a very tea-like. Maybe it's a bit more than tea-like, but you don't get something like juicy, like heavy. No, something very nice, bright, but also sweet. Okay? Let's see. Now, I never brewed this coffee with this method, so it's the first time. And this is a good method for wash, okay, as well. That's why I'm using it with this coffee. It's very nice and delicate, okay? It's not very heavy. The mouthfeel is not overpowering the coffee. I like the big mouthfeel, right? I always seek for sweetness, I always seek for mouthfeel. But this is a method that you can use for, like if you want to highlight acidity, to have a bit of, yes, sweetness, but not so juicy and creamy, okay? If you want juicy and creamy, of course, Matteo has always the idea for juicy and creamy. If you want juicy and creamy, what you need to do? You let the coffee sit 30 seconds more inside the AeroPress, meaning that you will continue stirring, all right? You keep the same stirring until 1 minute 30, all right? Then instead of take it off, plunging when it's 140, what you do is you keep it 30 seconds longer, stay like this to get that 30 seconds more of contact time, and then you're going to press. What you're gonna get? You're gonna get a bit more TDS, of course, because you're gonna keep the coffee more and longer with the water, but also you get more mouthfeel. All right, that's the way. Now let me finish to check everything here. I want to show you what you can achieve with this method. Cup is very clean. Now it's cooling down, it's even better. I love it. Yes, I love these days, starting Tuesday with the right coffee. Final total dissolved solids of this coffee is 1.42, as you can see. Okay? It's pretty good TDS for, like 2 minutes and 20, when it was 2 minutes something of brewing, 2 minutes 30, 2 minutes 20. It's a good TDS. It's a good extraction, Okay. If you want to do the calculation, all right, just because now I'm doing it every day, so let's just skip it. 1.42, the yield was 229, divided by the grams inside, which are 15, we have a 21.6, 21.7, all right, of extraction. 21.7, which is great. If you like higher extraction, that's what you get. So it's sweet, there is also acidity, it's the quality of extraction. We avoid the astringent compounds in the cup because we reduce the contact time, okay? If I was brewing this coffee in another method, having like 4-5 minutes brew time, or even like 3:30, for minutes, of course you have more chance to extract bitter compounds. But in this way, it's very fast, even if you are finer. If you want even reduce a bit more the extraction, what you can do, you can stir for less seconds, 20 seconds, 15 seconds. So that's how you can change the variables on this method. You can extract less if you want, if you like less. You can stir for less seconds and then still keep it for 30 seconds. All right. So in this case, you reduce extraction because agitation is going to create a lot of extraction here, and but extend a bit more the contact time to get more sweetness out from the coffee. So the way to adjust these methods are multiple. So yeah, let's make another one. I'm going to make another one and I'm going to keep it for 30 seconds. So I'll show you what you can achieve with this method. If you want to, do we want to push a bit more actually? I don't know, we're already 21.7. Let me do the one I was telling you. So basically, I'm going to stir for just 15 seconds, all right? But also keep the 30 seconds. I'm gonna stir for 15 seconds, leave it for 30 seconds, and I'm going to plunge it. We're gonna see what we're gonna achieve. I will explain you better when I reset everything. We regrind the coffee, still at 20 clicks, water is 92. Perfect, we're gonna brew the second one, and I'm going to explain you like what's the result, okay? 1 second. All right, I'm back. I ground the coffee, again 20 clicks with the Comandante, regular clicks. Place a filter here, water at 92 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to stir less, but we'll keep it more, okay? And then I'll show you what's the result with this method. All right, let's put the coffee. Okay, we keep the same blooming, so 50 grams, leave it for 30 seconds. Okay. Bit of swirl again. Perfect. Now 15 seconds, and then I'm going to pour 200 grams of water until we arrive at 250. Let's go. Here, while you pour, also like create agitation, and because the coffee is already saturated, here this action is going to be important. Okay. Perfect. Now we stir for just 15 seconds. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to leave it like this for, I can put it on the server, for 30 seconds. So at 145, 146, I will plunge the coffee. Okay. Again, you don't need to press much. You won't find a lot of resistance. So it's perfect. Okay. Or I can say the aroma is brighter. Okay. I was expecting this, so it's good. Okay, let me check the yield if something changed. 225. All right. Okay. It's a bit different than the other one. This is a bit different. It's higher acidity, slower sweetness, but still the mouthfeel. Let me see if it's more. Now this is cooling down. Mouthfeel is become juicy. All right, not big, but it became juicy. So it's a very good cup, this one. Sweet and juicy. This one so far has a higher acidity, is brighter. If you like more sweetness, you go for this one. If you like more acidity, you go with this. Also the aftertaste is better in this one. Perfect. I mean, I was planning to brew it a different way, not to improve it, but It really depends on what you like. It's this preference, no? Like someone prefer more acidity, higher acidity with a more a tea-like mouthfeel. Some people like more sweetness, more bold, more intense. We make coffee for everyone. Yes, I love this method. So, like talking about the AeroPress, right? You can see there are like a lot of recipes. You can use this brewer in so many different ways. Let's check the TDS, because here, like is where the important thing arrive. Because what we said, stirring 15 seconds less than the previous one. What effect? Effect distraction, of course. Well, affect the TDS, okay? The concentration, distraction, okay? Let's say effect distraction in terms of numbers. Okay, so we have 1.33. So you can see 15 seconds less of stirring, so half. You drop significantly TDS. Before was 1.42, so like with 0.1, 0.09. It's significant, okay? Now here I did 15 seconds. If you want just a bit more, you can do 20 seconds, But the most important thing about this second brew is that 30 seconds time of immersion in between coffee water, the contact time in between them. Because if I was doing 15 seconds less and then press straight away, I would have like, yes, probably very high bright acidity, but the mouthfeel would be like tea-like this time. Would it be like light? When here, we have a bit more juiciness here than here, all right? But with less extraction, okay? So if you keep this for 30 seconds more, the one where you stir 30 seconds, you will have a very important extraction, okay? So 22% probably with a even higher mouthfeel. So if you want something juicy, something sweet, more mouthfeel, more on the sweet side, keep the stirring of 30 seconds, leave in contact with the coffee water after stirring for another 30 seconds and then plunge. If you prefer something that is more bright acidity with a nice mouthfeel, you're going for 15 seconds, 20 seconds, okay, stirring, and then keep the coffee and water together after stirring for another 30 seconds. If you prefer something that is a brighter acidity, but with a tea-like mouthfeel, you do 15 seconds stirring, and then after that, you plunge. And so you shape the coffee based on your taste preference. Pretty simple. If the coffee is fresh, keep it bloom for longer. You can pour less water, more water, of course, like all these kind of variables you can change. They remain the same. If you grind coarser, of course, you have less contact time, less contact surface, you extract less. The ratio is, we talked about this the previous day, so But how to control with the timing, that's how you do. And without changing the rest. So yeah, find your way, take out your AeroPress. I think it's another important method to have at home, together with a Aero switch, AeroPress, Aero switch, Orea Z1. I think these are the methods that you should have, like on your brewer's drawer. They're so different. If you want to add something else, V60, of course, it's important. And I really like the Orea V4 wide right now. So for me, these are the drippers that I will have right now, right? I can get rid of the other ones. So I will make more space for, I don't know, more coffee probably. I'm very happy with this cup. Very, very happy, very, very happy, very, very happy. Good coffee from Prolog, washed Costa Rica. Very, very happy. I will take out the AeroPress probably the next week for another recipe. Let's see what we can do. Different way, different approach. But yeah, I like to brew with AeroPress. I never do, like not often. So let me know. Are you an AeroPress user? Let me know. Like for me, it's very important to understand which are the brewers you use the most during the day. So I might, like highlight something more than the other. Leave a comment below. Let me know which one is the dripper, the brewer that you use the most, because if I have this kind of information, I know that I need to focus in a certain one rather than the other one, so that you find more helpful, and so we help each other, basically. I'm going to finish to drink both coffees. Both good, different way, sweeter, brighter, both juicy. This one is cooling down right now. This one has a very important aftertaste. I think it's better. Let me see this. This one opens up now. This one has a better aftertaste. It's brighter. Now, we didn't check the extraction. Let me show you. Because we did with one, why we don't do with the other one, right? So 225 multiplied 1.33 divided by 15, and we have 19.95%. All right, so we are there on 20% of extraction. So 1995. Okay, we can even go lower with extraction to highlight more the acidity if you want. I told you how to do that, so now it's up to you. With this, I want to say thank you very much for watching. I will see you tomorrow, Wednesday, for another coffee, another method, and I wish you a wonderful day and both delicious coffee. Ciao!